this movie is a blend of Jurassic Park, Armageddon, and After Earth. But this happens 65 million years ago when the asteroid strikes Earth and destroys all the dinosaurs. I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I saw when I watched this particular movie. Adam Driver is awesome. This is his movie, basically, and the young girl. But if you ever to look for a better version of After Earth, I believe this should have been it. This should have been After Earth. I think this is what Will Smith and Jaden were going for, because it has all the elements from that particular film. But in this particular case, there's a sense of competency in terms of direction, storytelling, editing, and pacing. Yes, for some people may go that like this was a pretty boring movie, but in my case, I think the editing was jarring. It was not bad, it was jarring in that when they needed to move fast, they moved slow. When they needed to move slow, they moved fast. That's how I felt about the particular movie. The idea that we didn't get an expansive, they chose to focus on the two characters as they were going through. Okay, basically, here's the synopsis. There is this, I would call him an intergalactic truck driver because his work is delivering assets from one point to another point. And so he's delivering some human beings who are in a cryo chambers to a different planet so that they can go colonize it. But then they collide with asteroids. The asteroid that strikes Earth actually causes the spaceship to crash on Earth. So after they collide, the ship breaks down. So the escape pod is located in a different area and they crash land on a different area. So Adam Driver and this young girl have to find a way to get to the escape pod. Easy concept, easy story, right? Now, the area between them and the escape pod, there are a lot of dinosaurs, there are a lot of creatures, there are a lot of slimy animals trying to eat them. Now, when I talk about jarring editing, is that when after they crash, some scenes feels like they feel that they were edited too quickly, in that you feel that something is just about to happen and then it's cut. Then you feel like Adam Driver is doing something, then you'd expect them to cut, but they extend it and they just keep extending it and then extend it. And when they cut, you feel like you're already tired of seeing that particular scene. You're like, let's move on, but they're not moving on. Now you get to a place where they have dinosaurs or there's a chase and they keep that particular action set piece very short. But in terms of direction, it's competent. There's a sense of the director understands what they want, the story writers understood what they wanted, and they were able to actually deliver it. So I understand the people who are talking about it. Again, when I talk about being boring, is that they wanted to focus on the characters. But you have a character who can talk, you have a character who speaks a different language, and a character who speaks the language, and they cannot understand each other. So I don't think it would be possible for us to actually understand these characters or understand where they're going through. So the focus should have not been on the characters. Focus should have been on what the characters were going through in this particular world. They should have focused on the conflict within this particular world, trying to get from point A to point B rather than focusing on the character. If I was the one who was directing this film, it would have been a silent film. After the ship crashes, no one would have spoken. It would have been that I cannot understand you, you cannot understand me, we can't actually talk because there are a lot of animals around, all we can do is sign language. So I would have gone for sign language instead and just kept everything quiet until they get out of this particular area. Because you can't have an area infested by predators and you have people going around playing, stepping down and just throwing things at them when you have the place is littered with everything that wants to kill you. Everything is bigger and everything wants to kill you. So if you make any noise, you know that you're going to instantly die. So I would have gone for silent rather than having them be these noisy people. The other thing, I would have made the young girl to come from an hunting community. I would have made her a proper hunter. Then I would have made Adam Driver the person who gets to learn from her. It would have been more interesting to have this child who comes from a hunting community trying to teach this other person who's never gone hunting, who's always on a spacecraft, he's a very smart person, but he cannot hunt to save his life. So I would have primarily focused on the child, focused on her ability to hunt, focused on maybe her becoming something in the community. That would have been, it would have subverted your expectation, because every time you go into this kind of a movie, you know what to expect. The lead character is going to be the hero. The lead character is going to be taking out all the animals. The lead character is going to be superhuman. I mean, there are some things that happen to Adam Driver. I don't know how he survived some of these things. He gets wounded in the stomach. He fell off a tree. Almost, I don't know, dislocated his arm. He's almost eaten by is almost eaten by a dinosaur, and there are all those things happen to him, and he can still stand. You know, he almost drowns in a sand pit, and he, at all time, at the end of the film, he's still functioning. Yeah, it's still okay. I mean, these are not human. They are probably humans from a different planet, and they're probably better than we are. But still, come on. The performances were, I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem I'm having. If you made this a silent film, you wouldn't have the performance problem. You wouldn't have to make your characters perform. It would be more of just them reacting and acting, rather than trying to spit out lines. So yeah, 65 is a pretty interesting movie. You just need to give it a chance. The third act is the best part of this film. It's very it's action packed. It takes the story somewhere that I didn't think that they were going to take it, and the callbacks are pretty cool. Yeah, and they're able to tell the best after Earth story that I did not expect. I had a great time. I actually did not see it because I had watched a few reviews that said that this was actually a boring movie. So when I went in, I had no expectations, but I had a great time. It's a Sunday afternoon movie. It's a Sunday afternoon movie. You just watch it and go like, yeah, that was kind of cool, and then you forget about it. But it's not a bad film. Adam Driver is Adam Driver. The young girl, I don't see what she brought into the film apart from motivating the main character. I felt that she was underused. I felt that they would have done more with that particular character. Anyway, that's 65. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Boom.